Hey guys, my name is Kelly. I make videos related to thrifting and DIY. So today's video is a little bit different. I want to talk about creative burnout or being in a creative rut. I think that for creatives, this feeling can be really frustrating, especially if your job or your major in school relates to being creative. It can be really hard to feel like you're in a rut or feel creatively burnout because you kind of are relying on that for your livelihood in one way or another, whether it's school or work or both. I know for me with school, I got creatively burnt out quite often, and then now I do have a job that requires me to be pretty creative some of the time. There are a lot of tasks in my job that are pretty straightforward as well, but it does still require some creativity. And then on top of that, doing YouTube and trying to come up with new ideas and trying to learn new things to get my videos to the level that I want them to be at can be really hard. And so whether or not you can relate to those exact circumstances or you have your own level of creative burnout or feeling in that rut in your own life, having these tools to use to get out of that rut can be really valuable. And some of these things may sound kind of straightforward, but I think that sometimes when you're in that circumstance, it's hard to think of things to do. So I hope that next time you feel like you're in a rut, you can draw on these tips. And if these are things that you already do, I would love to hear if they work well for you or if you have other tips that you think work for you better, or just other tips in general that you think other people might benefit from. I would love to have a conversation about that below in the comments because I love getting new tips. This is something I'm actually feel like I'm currently dealing with a little bit. And so that's part of why I wanted to make this video, is just to share it with you guys. Take something that's kind of negative, like feeling creatively burnt out and feeling like I don't know what I'm doing, and turn it into something positive by making this video. So I'll talk more about that in a minute, but this is already getting to be a little bit of a long intro, so I'm just gonna jump right in. So my first tip, if you're feeling burnout creatively, is to just do the thing. And I would say this really only works if you're feeling stuck or in a rut because of something like perfectionism or fear of messing up, which those are basically the same thing. I know for a lot of creative people, perfectionism is a big issue, and it stops a lot of people from starting. This is especially true of people who deal with imposter syndrome or just feeling like, who am I to do this? I don't know anything, I'm not as good as these people. I don't know XYZ, and I would say for me, my experience, like I wanted to start this YouTube channel 5 years ago. I actually had a channel before this one that I had for about a year. Then I started this one in 2016 and I posted like once or twice a year, which I've mentioned on this channel before, not to put myself down or anything like that, but just to be real with you guys, like, yeah, this is something I wanted to do a long time ago, and I'm just now in 2020 at the beginning of the year, this is when I decided to focus on it and really commit. And it took committing and telling myself this is what I'm going to do for me to really follow through, and keeping that promise to yourself can be really empowering. I guess that's not the right word, but you know what I mean. So I would say it really only works if you're feeling in a rut because you're scared or because you're not sure where to start. I would say just start anyways and figure it out from there. So it can be hard to do that, but I found in my life that just taking the first step and just starting the project, I usually feel much better once I start, and I'm like, oh, this isn't so bad, and then I can keep that momentum going and end up getting really stuck into the project and really excited about it through just taking the first step. So that's my first tip for creative burnout. My second tip would be to step away from the project, so kind of the opposite of what I was talking about. This is for if you're in the middle of a project, you've already started it, you're not sure where to go from here, take a step back. So actually this video is me doing exactly that. I am in front of the tree for a good reason. I actually had some holiday videos planned for you guys. I was so excited. This is my first year on YouTube for real, and I wanted to do some holiday related videos. I had some mini decor ideas, some thrift flips, some just DIY projects, and I actually filmed quite a few clips, and they just didn't turn out the way I wanted them to. I'm not proud of them, and I don't feel comfortable putting them out here because while I am very transparent about the fact that I'm learning and I'm trying to do better all the time, I'm not happy with how they turned out. And so I had to take a step back and say, what else can I do? And I I have 2 other videos I need to edit that I'm stuck on just because I'm so frustrated with how the other one went, and now I'm second guessing all these other clips that I filmed for these other videos, wondering if I like how they look, and you know, you get stuck in that cycle. And so now that I'm already started that project and now I'm stuck, you know, forcing myself to work on it isn't really working, so now I'm taking a step back and doing something else. Another good way of doing that would be to like go do something fun, get out of the house. If there's an activity that you like to do that brings you a lot of joy that's unrelated to your project, that would be a great thing to do. For me, usually when I need to get out of the house, I go thrifting. And so that can even inspire me to make content, and that's great, but it doesn't have to. It can also just be a fun activity to do just because. If you're wanting to look for inspiration because you don't currently have a project that you're stuck on and you're genuinely just in that rut and don't know what to do next, I would say go somewhere that inspires you. So the other day I went to a craft store and just wandered around, and I got a lot of inspo for projects, and I bought some supplies, and it really made me feel like I have some ideas going forward. I don't know when I'm going to get to that content specifically, but it's stuff that I want to share with you guys because I'm excited about these projects. And it made me get some ideas for other things related to my future goals as well. And so just that one like 30-minute trip around the craft store turned into something much bigger than that. And it won't always be that way. Sometimes you'll just walk around and be like, okay, I didn't find anything, you know, nothing, you know, it didn't do anything for me, but still just getting out of the house can be only what you need. And my last tip would be to try a new project. So that kind of relates to what I just said, but try something new. Go out and find a new project to work on by, you know, visiting a craft store, going to the thrift store and finding something to make over, finding something to thrift flip, whatever it may be, whatever industry you're in, it may vary, but just find something different to do, a new craft to try, even if it's just like, okay, I have these 3 craft supplies in my stash, what can I make with them? And just see what you can do, and just do it for fun. It doesn't have to be a high pressure thing, and I think that putting pressure on ourselves is sometimes what burns out creative people. So yeah, that was kind of rambly. I hope that you were tracking with me, and I hope that you get value out of those tips. I tried to keep it short and sweet, so I don't want to ramble too much longer, but I just wanted to say thank you guys for being here. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it, and it really does make a difference to me. So yeah, thanks for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.